Hello and welcome to another Writerly Witterings. Today with a cup of coffee, not tea. That makes a change, doesn't it? And what are we doing? I'm going to be looking at some more inks. And so today I have to thank Michelle Stevenson, Richard Barnes and Chris Curtis, because they have between them sent me this load of Rora and Klingner and Aquaman and Pelican and other inks. I'm not going to go through the whole process of demonstrating each of them being written because it'll take you a long time to watch it, and really, is it any use? So I'm going to show the first stages and then I'm going to crack on, do some writing with all of the inks, and then you'll have a summary of them all at the end. Hopefully that's good. Let's get on with it. Now, before I go into it, I will explain what I'm doing because people have been asking. Strange. Some people have little else to do. What I use for all of my ink tests is this, which is a delightful TWSBI Go with a 1.1 stub nib. Why a stub 1.1 nib? Simply because it's fat. It means that you and I can see the shading, the variation, all of the other impacts of the ink to best effect. But has another big advantage, and that is with a Go, it is very quick and easy to empty it and fill it. Why is that important? Well, I've got a lot of inks to go through here. But you are asking yourself, if he's going to be doing that, the pen's going to be contaminated with other inks. Aha, no it's not, because I will flush the pen every time in this slightly blue water, because it's been flushed once already. And then what happens is, when it is clean, I press the plunger down so there's no ink or water in it, and then it gets flushed with clean water. So every time I refill the pen, it is flushed and cleaned entirely and fully. So that's a little bit of an explanation about what I'm doing. I'll crack on now. Just so you're aware, what I am writing today is sections from Death Comes Hot, which is my book, which is out very shortly. All of my tests are done in the same cahier, which is this, which is a Goulet Pens cahier, and it uses Tomo River, I think, 68 GSM. So all of the inks are being tested on the same paper, no matter what the colour. Here's all the diamines and everything I've done so far. And everything is being lit by the same light here, which is a daylight bulb, the kind I use for doing my watercolour painting because it gives perfect daylight colouring. So, same paper, same pen, same light source. The only thing that changes every time is the inks. Hopefully that all makes sense. Oh, two things. I've got to say thank you to the espresso shop because they sent me that coffee machine and some lovely coffee to test last week. You'll see more of my AeroPress Go in the coming weeks. And also to the Lancashire Templar, who sent me this very delightful pin some time ago, and I forgot to say thanks. So let's get on with a bit of writing. Death Comes Hot. I can thoroughly recommend it. Very good story. First of all, I'm going to go with an ink that I know I love, which is this, Rora and Klingner Bluemar. It is an absolutely delightful colour, which shows up very well in my Visconti pens. So, here we have Bluemar. I am just going to put the lid on that bottle before I knock it over, because Murphy's Law dictates that if a bottle of ink can get spilled in the most inopportune moment, it will. Now let's find a scene. Not just a list of all my past books, well, some of the past books, not all of them. There we go. This is, as we call it, a proof, which means it's the stage of the book immediately before it gets published. Now I'm going to do the next few pages all with Rohrer und Klingner, so I don't have to worry about rewriting it every time. But this is Bluemar. That is a gorgeous ink. Excellent shading, excellent outlining, really bright, glorious colour. I just love it. Second, we have Königsblau, so King's Blue, a royal blue. As you can see, a very different blue. I'm going to mention this one because this is an Isengallus Tinte Salix or Salix, and this has to be mentioned because it is an oak gall ink, which means it's a bit acidic, I believe. And the main thing about that is it's not something therefore that you should leave in a pen for terribly long. This is. You will notice that as I write, it will get darker. So that's quite a nice blue, but as it dries, it goes darker. Strange. You can see here how light it is here compared to the dried one. That is a lovely colour. So there we have some blues. Now we're going to move on to a lovely yellow, I hope. Helianthus. Never used this one, so this is a delightful surprise for me, no doubt, as much as it is for you. Very interesting colour in the pen. That is a lovely bright yellow, it has to be said. That is a very gorgeous yellow. I like that a lot. And so to one of my very favourite Rohrer und Klingner inks, Altgoldgrün. Next is Verdura. So this is... oh wow, that is lovely. And now we come to Smaragdgrün, which is a name to conjure with. Now last in this set we have Verdigris. See, very dark green colour, but quite lovely as it dries. So, I can only describe this as a really, to my mind, divine, very dark teal. It's definitely got blue and green in it. Definitely a teal type, I think. But I think that's absolutely glorious. Really gorgeous colour. So we've now gone through the greens. And here we are with sepia. I love a good sepia. A standard that is almost always in one of my pens is Diamine's sepia, which I just find lovely. It's gorgeous to look at on the page. It's a really delightful colour. So let's see what sepia from Rohrer und Klingner is like. Now the diamine sepia is quite a golden colour. This, however, is really quite a refined greyish brown. Now we're going to go to a red, Alt Bordeaux. Interesting minor issue there. This pen is thoroughly flushed, I can guarantee it, because I just dropped it in my bucket. So my hand is slightly soggy. Never mind. This is an ink I only discovered when it came through, and I really love it. I like that. That is a really nice colour in my mind. To my mind even. And so next we'll go for some Solferino. That is really bright. And I have to say, it is very, very smooth on the paper. More so, it feels much more as though it's lubricated the nib. That is very bright, rather lovely though. So now we have Cassia. Now for another one of the Iron Gall inks, Isinglass Tinta Scabiosa. And again, watch how the colour changes while I'm writing. You can see now how it's quite a dark purple when it's freshly written, but it goes a lot darker as it dries and the ink oxidizes. And last of the Rohrer and Klingners, we have Schwartz, Leipziger Schwartz. Black to you and me. You get so many insipid blacks. This is not one of those. Leipziger. That's a very nice black actually. I really like that. Yes, that's a black with some colour to it, some individuality. And now we have some additional colours to test. First of all, Mont Blanc's Irish Green. Never tried this, so I'm looking forward to an evaluation. I am definitely going to cap this while I test it, because otherwise that little ink pot will fall over, I have no doubt. Now I managed to get water on the page, which will ruin things, so let's just get rid of that. Right, so this is Mont Blanc Irish Green. A very intense green colour, as you can see. I have to admit that is really very, very attractive indeed. And for my second, we have Aquaman Delft's Blau, which I have wanted to try for absolutely ages. And bless him, Richard bought some and decided that I could have a little share. So thanks very much for this, Richard. It is deeply appreciated. I'm looking forward to trying this out. For some reason my pen has decided to go all difficult on me, and as a result I've just managed to waste half the ink by spilling it on me instead of getting it into the pen. Hey ho, it's the sort of thing that makes recording videos such fun. It's when things go horribly wrong. This is of course the joy of a fountain pen. It is that when you least expect it, you will have an accident, you will get ink everywhere, and you'll make a horrible mess of yourself and everything else around you. Hey ho, so this is Aquaman ink, And I do, I love that. That's a really nice pastel blue that's... Oh, look at that hand. And that one if you must as well. Ye gods. Right, okay, it was that. Well, I definitely love that ink. That is really, really lovely. The only problems I have with it are my own cack-handedness. And now we have 2 remaining inks. No, we haven't. We've got 3. These 3 inks are from Michelle Stevenson. Thanks very much, Michelle. Let us turn the page and start with a new one. I think I'll start with the St. Louis Butterscotch. So this is Meet Me in St. Louis 2019 Butterscotch, which I think was a special ink for that year. Oh, and it smells like a KWZ. It's got that lovely smell of vanilla. So butterscotch with the smell of vanilla, what more can you ask for? Am I going to knock everything flying when I do that? Nope, not quite. So where was I? I'd got to, and in the meantime, that's right, yes. Oh, and that's why it smells of vanilla. It is a KWZ ink. Ha ha! That is a lovely colour ink. I just love the smell of the KWZ inks. They are glorious if you've never tried them. Really glorious. That's like a sort of reddish diamine sepia to my eye, which means it's something that is very likely to get extensively used in my pens, because I really love sepia, but this will give me just a little bit of variety. So next I think we'll try the green before the blue. So this is Takia Uguisa, which is spelt. Very nice dark colour again. And now this is Papier Plume number 13, because it's a special one-off and they won't be producing it again, which is a great shame because I love this. I've tried it. I thought it was, oh, I've forgotten what it's called now, but a different one produced by Papier Plume. I didn't realise it was a one-off special, but it's an absolutely lovely, fairly dark teal, more on the blue spectrum than the green, but really nice colouring, I think. Okay folks, so how did that lot do? Well, personally I am staggered by them. Now let's start at the beginning of today. The Rohrer and Klingner's I think are just gorgeous. I really couldn't possibly complain about any of them. Interesting to see the Salix, the Zalix and the Verdigris side by side, because this is much, much darker. I hadn't realised how much darker it was than the Salix. And in fact, that is a very nice colour. I like that. I love the Königsblau. I love the Bluemar. That's one of my favourite colours. What is noticeable about all of these is really good, strong outlining. The Bluemar in particular, the Helianthus as well. I think the Altgoldgrün and the Verdura and the Smaragdgrün. Verdigris less so. sepia less so. The Bordeaux is very strong outlining. Solferino as well, the Cassia as well. Isingala Scabiosa a bit. The Mont Blanc actually is, I think the Delft's Blau is just gorgeous. Really nice pastel-y colour, which I love pastel inks. I don't know why, I'm just that sort of a guy. Really like the KWZ Butterscotch. The Takia Uguisu is lovely. Papier Plume. Again, a sort of a pastel-y blue, a pastel teal. If you can get hold of any of this, I would strongly recommend it. Out of all of these, I can happily say I love the Bluemar, really like the Königsblau, like the Salix. Helianthus is very good. It shows up well on the camera, it shows up very well in front of me. I don't know what it'll be like on the film, but that works really well. So Altgoldgrün and Bluemar were always two of my favourites. But I really like that, I really like that. In fact, I really like just about all of these. Solferino I'm less likely to use. It's a little bit too bright for me, really. Cassia, likewise, is less for me, I think. The Scabiosa, I think, is very good. I really like that black. I wasn't expecting to like black. I find blacks rather tedious and boring. If I just go back here, as we tried diamine grey, graphite, quartz black, jet black, onyx black. Mont Blanc permanent grey is quite nice. Mont Blanc black is quite similar, but I just feel that black has got more life and more interest in it than most of the other blacks I've ever used. So, there you have it. And there you go. So, one set of additional pages in my ink colouring book. What else are you going to call it? But a fascinating set of colours. I'm really grateful to all of you, Richard, Michelle and Chris, for your enormous generosity in sending all those inks through. My next thing is going to have to be to save up for some Delft's Blau, I think, because it is just stunningly gorgeous. And on that note, thanks a lot for watching. If you wish to support the channel, feel free to go down to the bottom where there's a link to my Patreon page. Apart from that, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell, share it, all those good things. And apart from that, I will be back very soon with another video. Don't know what this one's going to be about, actually, but I'm sure it'll be fun. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care. Cheers.